This is a 2019 quarter. In this video, we are going to be seeing how well it holds up to electrolysis in salt water. So we're going to make a time lapse. We will place the quarter on the positive electrode of a bench power supply, set the voltage of that power supply to 32 volts, and observe the results. Connecting the quarter to the positive electrode of our power supply. I'm going to connect it such that we can see the 2019. All right, we are now ready to start the test by turning on the power supply. All right, everyone, it's been just under an hour. With the power supply running at 32 volts, we started with about 3.3 amps running through it, and that dropped down pretty quick to 3, and then 2.5, and 2, and finally I stopped it when it was just about 0.4 amps. So a little over 10% of the amount of electricity was running through as when it started. So we were pulling, I remember seeing about 100 watts for the first little while there, and that slowly dropped down, and by the end it was around 12 to 15 watts of electricity running through at 32 volts. And now let's take the penny out, the quarter. It's a 2019 quarter that we're running here, and we're going to see the result. So lifting it up out of these bubbles here, shaking some of the bubbles off. Just feeling the side of the bowl, and as I expect, it's actually surprisingly very warm. That bowl is very warm. And looking at the quarter, we can definitely see some corrosion on it. I'm going to go run it under some water, do some processing, and we'll have another look at this thing. I think it's going to be really interesting. All right, so we've got a 2019 quarter, which you can see on the bottom. This says 2019. But on the top, we appear to have used electrolysis to remove the outer layer. So I can feel a difference in height there, and perhaps you may even be able to see it on the camera. But that quarter is not the same height as it was before, meaning there is a layer removed. It is distinctly thinner on this brown part at the top. And so you can clearly see the line between the brown and the silver. This is all shiny. It might even be shining into the camera. And yet the brown side is definitely not. It was the part that was in the water, and it's just completely eroded away. So I can still feel ridges on the brown side of the quarter, as can I on the top side, of course. But they feel a little bit different. I mean, going across that, that transition there, it does seem they're a little bit rougher, I think the word is. And this side is definitely, I've washed it off. I've removed some of the grime and stuff that was on it from this water. It's definitely interesting to observe tactily. And I'll go ahead and show the water as well. So the water that was used, I can see it's still very warm. We're using I believe a stainless steel bowl, and this is dark color now. It's very, very it's not a very it's not clean. It's very brown, and all of that metal has obviously reacted such that it's no longer on that quarter, and it's now, in this solution. If I stir it around, maybe you'll be able to see what I mean. All that stuff just kind of floating. And it doesn't really taste salty anymore, interestingly. Like, it's not like salt water anymore. I think some of the salt may have reacted to form, different elements and such inside of this solution, and also probably oxidized that. There is a little bit of green on the quarter, actually, interestingly. Just a little bit, and that's where you can see some oxidization. Oxidation. Just the correct pronunciation for that. It may not be as apparent on. It's very small, but I did see some green for certain. Yeah, you can see it up here. On the top part, the shiny part, there is a little bit of green in there, and that is oxidation of some of these metals that make up the quarter. So, very interesting project. I'm satisfied with this result, and we'll see what I end up doing with it.